Let's be real. We spend thousands on tires, suspension, and 12-volt systems. And we try to DIY where we can. But when it comes to getting clean out on the trail, you cannot beat a shower enclosure. We were running the 23.0 Kestrel for quite a while. And on our 3-week trip across Canada, setting it up day after day became monotonous and quite annoying, to be honest. The roof is fully separate, and so is the floor. And not only that, the LED strip is permanently there, and that's not ideal. So when I reached out to S-Team Overland, we all agreed that their hideout shower enclosure would be perfect for us. Full disclaimer, S-Team Overland did send this out to us, but they are by no means influencing my opinion on this product. Everything that you see coming up next is 100% a real reaction to this absolutely awesome product. All right, let's grab our trusty Leatherman and let's cut into the package. So this was delivered fairly quick to us, which is always good to have happen. First bag is going to be, looks like our brackets and other mounting hardware. Getting into the bag, we've got, looks like our instructions and a sticker, which is always good to have. And we got some of the mounting hardware. Tools, stakes, and so on. Always good to have. Set those guys aside. This guy is going to be our LED strip. Looks like it has multiple modes on that as well, which is always good to have. We will definitely test that out once it's nighttime. Ooh, these are our brackets. Judging on the weight, I think they're aluminum. Let's get this cut open and see what they look like. It looks like it's 2 brackets in the kit. And yeah, I think judging by the weight, I think they are aluminum. I'm going to check with a magnet at some point and confirm that they are aluminum. So we'll set those aside, but actually let's bring this back. So this is actually a really nice design. They're using a C-channel style that was bent and then welded. So that's actually really nice. It also seems like it's going to give us a lot more footprint to actually mount it to our roof rack. So that is actually really nice. The only downside that I can see about this bracket is if you wanted to mount it in a underslung method versus fitting it with the short side of the L going up. Other than that, that seems like a really nice bracket. I'm not seeing anything else in there. So let's get the box out of the way. Assistant. Nice. All right, let's get this sucker open. So this is a nice vinyl cover. I found with the vinyl covers, especially in the winter, in Alberta, we get a lot of blowing snow, and it builds up a lot on everything. The logo is really nice. It's a nice vinyl logo, or rather not vinyl, it's a rubberized vinyl logo. Zippers got some nice long pull tabs, which that's really nice to have. And the zippers are pretty nice and smooth. The back, the aluminum extruded. You got 2 mounting rails that go across the entirety. Let's open it up fully here and check the build quality a bit more. All right, firstly opening it, it seems like, okay, the roof is attached. So unlike the Kestrel that we have, where the roof and the floor are completely separate, the roof on this one is sewn in to your actual vinyl cover. So that's actually really nice. So that guy is just out of the way. You got some really nice straps holding this guy in. And we see one of the mesh pouches that are going to hold all of our shower stuff. So let's go back outside and let's toss this on the truck. Now that we got our first impressions out of the way, let's climb up and get this thing mounted. And I did check. These are not aluminum, actually. They are steel, but for some reason they are quite light, which is nice. And I do like the C-channel design. Let's get our bolts into the backing plate. Oh. Right off the bat, I am seeing one little tiny bit of detail that should be changed. And if I am doing this wrong, I hope S-Team Overland reaches out to me and lets me know that there is a better way of doing this. We have to slide these guys in to the back. So rather than you seeing me struggle for 4 bolts, we'll cut to when we have those mounted. There, we've got all 4 bolts in where we need them to be. What it seemed to be is you kind of just had to get them back over here to the T-slot and kind of maneuver them, with the vinyl in the way, and then slide them down. In the future, a simple notch at the center point would make this a lot easier in the future. Let's get this guy off now. So depending on your setup will depend on how much work you have to do to take it off. All right, now we can take the old one off. Let's get our new one on. For myself, because I'm using 3/4 inch crossbars, I couldn't technically use their setup as I don't have pass-through bolts, which wasn't going to work for me. So let's get these guys spaced out to where we need them to be. Pop on our first bracket. And due to the bolt size difference, what I had to do is I had to get these 3/16 washers that go around to properly clamp this down. Your setup might be different. This is just how I had to do it for myself. All in all, these were $4. So not too much hardware to have to finagle this to work for my setup. So that means it shouldn't be too bad for anyone else's. One thing I did wish that they had included in the kit as well was washers. Now the manufacturer might not require washers, but just for peace of mind, because these are going off-road and they're going to bounce around a lot. So now that we've got this relatively mounted up, we can now adjust it to where we want it to sit on our vehicle. So because I have this other awning, we have to make sure that there's enough room in between them. So I'm pretty happy with how this sits right now. So we are going to tighten this sucker up and make it permanent. Now make sure you don't over torque these guys. This is just an aluminum backing plate and you can absolutely strip it out. And then you got to shift where the bolt is to make it work. That is the shower enclosure fully mounted. Now let's hop down and let's see a side-by-side comparison of how fast this guy sets up compared to the Kestrel. Once we open the cover, we see that there are two straps, keeping everything neatly packed away. Unrolling the enclosure, it's made from a ripstop material with a vinyl coating on the inside. Both arms fold out easily on molded aluminum hinges with brass inserts for durability and a simple locking method. There's also a Velcro strip for a shower head. On either side, there's a mesh pouch, and we see the large access port to our vehicle or shower box. Like I said earlier in the video, we are going to try out the LED strip for the shower enclosure. What's really nice is the switch for it has a light to indicate to turn it on. We have multiple different modes. And then we can turn the brightness up and turn it down as well. So that is really nice. And of course, this is Velcro. So we can take that off so moisture doesn't get in here when you pack it all up. In conclusion, all the things that I love about this shower enclosure far outweigh the minor detail of having to get the bolts in on the mounting plate. It's a moot point. So a huge thanks to S-Team Overland for sending this out to us to try it out. It worked out great for us this weekend and was very easy to set up. The link will be down in the description, and if you guys have any questions about this, I will have a follow-up video on this down the road.